Hello, authors. Eva Nattiello here with you today to talk about the marketing power of Goodreads, what every author should do on Goodreads, and how exactly to do it. Just a little background about me before we get started. I'm a self-published author myself of the New York Times and USA Today best-selling psychological thriller, The Memory Box. I self-published my book after years of querying agents and collecting 81 rejections. What I didn't know then is how grateful I'd be one day as an indie author, because what I've learned since is that there is enormous power in self-publishing, which is exactly what I now teach other authors through consulting on how exactly to self-publish in the most successful way possible and how to market your books to increase visibility and buzz. So let's dive in to one of my favorite book marketing strategies, how to use Goodreads as an author. So what should you do on Goodreads? There's a number of things that I'm going to be talking about today, like how to list your book on Goodreads if it's not already there, and how to maximize your book page, how to create and maximize your author profile, how to run a Goodreads giveaway, how to market away from your book and be a Goodreads reader, and lastly, what authors should not do on Goodreads. So the first thing you should do is check to see if your book already exists on Goodreads. Simply put the title into the search box and see the results and see if your book is one of them. And if it's there, which would be a pleasant surprise as it was for me after I released my book, I noticed someone had already added it to the book database at Goodreads. I was thrilled to see it. So if your book is already there, the first thing you do is check out the information and make sure it's correct and make sure it's exactly the way you want your book to appear. Specifically, the book description. Is it saying what you want it to say? Does it start with a great hook? Is it keyword rich in the first paragraph? Is there some good white space so it's easy to read? And if it's enticing, make sure the other metadata is also correct. If you need to edit anything, it's very simple to do, but you must be the author, an authorized author of the book, which you will be when you claim your author profile, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. Now, if it's not there, you can manually add your book. So you would just click on the right side of the screen. There is at the very top of the page, manually add a book. That will take you to this screen, which is a new book form. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll fill that out with all your metadata and your book description, and then click submit. Now, once your book is on Goodreads, this is when you want to maximize your book page. You want it to be a very robust place so that when potential readers stop by your page, it really looks exciting. It looks like you've got some stuff going on. You don't want it to be, a ghost town. So one of the things you can do to maximize your book page is to add videos. This is a wonderful opportunity. Hopefully, you are taking video of your events. So that means your book readings. Maybe you're reading, doing a reading at the library or at the local bookstore. Perhaps you are attending a book club discussion of your book. Take a short video, record a video of maybe you answering a few questions. These are great things to have for not only your website, for YouTube, but for exactly this reason, to have these short snippets of videos to add to your Goodreads book page. It's very simple to do. You'll see where it says add video. You click on that and you pull your videos in from YouTube or wherever you have them. The next thing you can do, which is really fun, is create a quiz for your book. So right now you can see we are on the book page for The Glass Castle. And over on the right column, halfway down the screen, it will typically say quizzes or trivia questions for this book. So here we can see some trivia questions which were posted by a reader. And sometimes actually readers will create quizzes for your book, or they'll create, a quiz for romance novels, or they'll come up with a theme, and you'll be lucky if your book is in the quiz. But what I did, and what I encourage you to do, is create a quiz yourself. Create a quiz for your own book, and it's simple to do. I believe you have up to 10 questions, and so you would come up with 10 questions for your book. I would stay away from spoilers and come up with 4 answers for each question. Of course, 3 of the answers will be wrong, 1 of them will be right, and you would tell Goodreads in the form which is the correct answer, so that when readers take your quiz, they can alert readers whether they're right or wrong. And it's just a really fun extra piece to have on your book page, which engages your readers and your fan base, and they really have a lot of fun with it. So, what else can you do on your book page? Well, you can learn a lot from your book page. There's a lot going on there that you don't have control over. One of the things you can see is the shelves that readers put your book on. This was really interesting for me when I went to see where people were putting my book. So my book is a thriller, a psychological thriller. So some of the shelves didn't surprise me. Some readers create shelves for mysteries, suspense, thrillers, psychological thrillers, page turners, shocking endings, female protagonist. It was interesting to see the way they categorize books, and that's one thing I really benefited from, because I learned some words and phrases that I now use as keywords, because if readers are thinking about books in these ways and are categorizing them in these different ways with these phrases and keywords, I now use them actually in my retail pages. So on Amazon, I may use some of those terms in my keywords, because now I know that's the way readers think about the memory box. So I encourage you to go on your book page and look to see the shelves that your book is on. The next thing is you can read discussions people are having about your book. All the way at the bottom of your book page, you will see something that says start a discussion about this book. So not only you, you could start this discussion, but other people could go on there and start a discussion and say, hey, what did you think about what Caroline learned in chapter 1, or what do you think about the twins, or whatever. Now, I think that reading these discussions is very similar to reading your reviews, and some authors don't want to read the reviews of their book, whether they're positive or negative. They just try and avoid them at all costs. And so for somebody like that, you may not want to read the discussions, because you'll need to brace yourself. It's not always positive, but it is interesting. And if you're into that kind of information, that's something you can be a voyeur and look and see what people are saying about your book. The last thing, which I just was so crazy about when I saw this on my book page, I did not realize that readers can actually pull their favorite quotes out of books and list them on your book page. And so you can actually see those quotes, those lines from your book that really have resonated with your readers. I can't even express to you how excited I was to first see that I was being quoted and that people were actually, taking quotes from the book because it really had impacted them in some way. I mean, that is a thrilling moment. So it's interesting to see which ones were selected, and I wanted to know if they were the ones that I loved. I have my favorite lines in the book, and some of them were, which was kind of interesting to see, and some of them were definitely not, and I was shocked to see them there. But you never know what readers are going to react to. And also, it's fun to see which quotes were liked the most too, and which resonated the most with the readers. So that's a fun thing to learn from your book page as well. Another really helpful opportunity is the ability to grab a Goodreads widget for your website. So you'll see on your book page on the right-hand column underneath Author Tools, you'll see the word widget. You click on that and it brings you to another screen, which I show you here on this slide, where you can grab a few different widgets that you can use on your website next to your book. So the first one is a widget that would allow visitors of your website to add your book to their want to read shelf. So they click on that widget and it automatically adds the book to their shelf. That's very cool. There's another widget right underneath that where Goodreads will compile a selection of your top reviews, and those will appear on your website. So visitors of your website can see what people are saying on Goodreads about your book, which is awesome. All right, let's move on to the author page, which is something completely different from the book page. And the way you claim your author page is on your book page, underneath the title of your book is the author name. And you click on your name, and that will take you to a page that asks if you are the author. Of course, you're going to say yes to this, and you will fill out a form, and it'll take about a day for them to get back to you, but they just want to check out that you are the author, and then they will open up this author profile page for you to fill out and make, again, in a really robust way. You want to add as much as possible to get as much reader engagement as you can, because that's really the point. When you're on Goodreads as an author, you want to increase the engagement between you and your readers and between your readers and your book. So on your author profile, you are given lots of great opportunities. The first is linking your Goodreads author profile to your website. That's really amazing. So let's say you just read a book that you are crazy about, and you look up the author and you go to Goodreads and you try and read more about her, and you see, oh, there's her website. You can click on her website now and learn more. So that's really important. Put your website link in there, and also you can list your Twitter handle right below it. Then below that, you are going to write your author bio, which I'm sure you have several versions of, or you should anyway have a short and a medium and a long version of your bio. So this bio, just like all the others, should be written so that it's interesting and you have some personal tidbits in there and things that a reader would find interesting to learn about you. I also take this opportunity to thank readers for writing reviews for my book. I think it's a really great place to do it, because when you do that, if somebody reads it, they think, oh, I didn't write a review for that book. I should write a review, and she really appreciates it. That's great. The other thing I do is I thank readers for selecting my book for book clubs. Again, you're suggesting by your gratitude, you are suggesting that your book is the perfect choice for a book club discussion. So there too, you're making a suggestion that maybe they wouldn't have thought of on their own. And now all of a sudden they've got this idea that they're going to suggest it, your book in their book club. So hopefully you'll pick up some book club discussions that way, which means additional sales, right? The last thing, which I absolutely adore, it's called the Ask the Author. It's called Ask the Author. It's a Q&A opportunity that you could either turn on or turn off. Okay, so if you really don't want to answer questions from potential readers or readers, you can turn that feature off. I love it. I think, this is the place you want to be talking to your readers or potential readers. So, and it's really fun. And this was a great story actually that happened to me. It was the very first month I had released my book, The Memory Box, and I got an email from Goodreads that said I had a question. I had a question on Ask the Author. I was so thrilled. I just couldn't even believe anyone had heard about the book. Or me, and I received a question from them. I was just crazy with I was just thrilled. So I went to Goodreads and I read from this person in Portland, Oregon, that she had chosen my book for her book club discussion. Also, again, I just couldn't believe it. I was freaking out that somebody had picked my book for a book club. It was only like, I think it had been maybe 3 weeks after my book had been published. And someone all the way in Portland, Oregon. I mean, I'm in New Jersey, so that felt like a feat in and of itself. And she said it was her responsibility to provide reader questions, book club questions, and she could not find any anywhere. So the funny thing I thought was that I provide book club questions in my Kindle and my paperback version, and it's at the very end of the book, so I could tell that she didn't get to the end of the book. So I said that to her and we both laughed about it. It was pretty funny. But there was the perfect example of how, by having that author profile filled out and the Ask the Author turned on, I was able to connect with a reader, and we had a wonderful exchange. And actually, I even offered to attend her meeting via Skype. So I attended my first book club 3 weeks after my book was launched, and it was in Portland, Oregon. It was nowhere near my hometown, which felt amazing. And they went crazy too. The readers were really delighted that I could be there via Skype. So that is one of the great successes of Goodreads. Also, while we're on the topic of Ask the Author, you can click on these different settings. Okay, so here's the on and off button as you see at the top. Also, you can choose how often you'd like to hear from Goodreads, whether it's daily or weekly or never, so that you get to control that. Okay. So, some other things you can do from your author profile. You can actually sync your blog to your Goodreads page, which is amazing. So, many of us have websites where we blog and we post regularly. And if you sync your blog to your Goodreads page, every time you post a new blog post, it appears automatically on your author profile, which is amazing. There's this button here in the middle of the page that says Sync Blog. You just click on that, you enter your URL, and you're good to go. And then finally, on your author profile, you have the ability to post event appearances, which is also great, especially if you do events out of your hometown. If you're doing a signing, a book signing at bookstores, you're doing talks at libraries, and whatever you're doing, readings, for instance, you can put those in your event schedule and people will come out and see you, which would be amazing, right? You're meeting people, you're engaging with readers via Goodreads. Okay, next, something else that you can do, which is one of the best marketing opportunities that Goodreads offers, which is the ability to run a giveaway. Why do a Goodreads giveaway? There are a few reasons why I think they're a great idea. First of all, everyone who enters your giveaway generates an update on their feed with your book and its cover. All their friends and followers will see your book cover. That's a lot of eyeballs. So, as you know, anytime you do any kind of engagement on Goodreads, if you enter a giveaway, if you put a new book on a shelf, if you finish reading a book, if you rate a book or review a book, it goes on your feed. And that feed is seen by all your friends and all of your followers. So that's pretty amazing. If you think about it, say 1,000 people enter your giveaway. Every time one of those people entered, your book cover was on their feed. So it was seen by a bunch of people, all of their friends and followers, times 1,000. So you get what I'm saying here. It could be very, very impactful. The next benefit is your book gets added automatically to the want to read shelf of all the people that enter your giveaway. So that again goes on their feed. So your book cover is showing up more than once on each individual's feed, which is tremendous. And the last reason is, of course, you have the potential for additional reviews, which we all want, and other marketing opportunities that we'll talk about in a minute. So, how do we create a Goodreads giveaway? You go to the top of the menu and you click Browse, and under Browse you'll see Giveaways, and you'll click that. And it'll take you to this screen, which is the first thing you need to decide. Choose a book format to give away. So you have the option to give away Kindle book or to give away paperbacks. First, let me say, in order to run a giveaway, you must have an Amazon account. If you don't already know, Amazon owns Goodreads, and so the giveaways of the ebook are going to be Kindle books, okay? They're not offering Nook book giveaways or Kobo book giveaways. It's strictly Kindle. So you have to have that Amazon account open in order to run a giveaway. So the first thing you choose is, what do you want to give away? Do you want to give away a Kindle, or do you want to give a print book, a paperback? And I have some opinions about that, which let's discuss. There are pros for each of the two, and then you can weigh out which you think is more important. So if you choose to give away a Kindle, first I'm going to tell you, because if some of you have been doing giveaways already on Goodreads, you will know that as of January 2018, they switched from being a free opportunity. It used to be absolutely free to post a giveaway and run a giveaway on Goodreads. Well, that changed in January, and now there is a fee to run a giveaway, and they have two different packages. They have a standard package and they have a premium package. So the standard package is $119, which is, I think, a big jump from free. And so you can imagine what I think about the $599 one, which I think is absolutely insane. And I would recommend not to run the premium package giveaway, but we'll get there in a second. So I'm telling you this because when you set up your giveaway to give Kindles, you do not have to pay anything additional for the books once you pay the fee to sign up for the giveaway. So if you chose the standard package, you would pay a fee of $119, and you could choose to give up to 100 copies of your Kindle for no additional cost past that initial fee, okay? So whether you give 5 books away or 100 books away, it's still going to cost you $119, a flat fee of $119. So that's the first plus there, that there is no additional cost for the books. The second plus is Goodreads really handles everything. Once the winners are chosen, which Goodreads does, they have this algorithm where they choose the winners. They send the Kindle copies to the winners immediately after the giveaway ends, and they do all of that themselves. So you never get a list of, email addresses, and you don't have to do any of that. They take care of it. Now, if you choose to give away a paperback, these are the pros of giving a paperback. You can send a signed copy of your book. You can autograph a book and send it to the winner, because when you sign up for the paperback giveaway, Goodreads tells you who the winners are. They send you an email and they say, this is the person, or these are the people who won your giveaway, and this is their address that you can send the book to. And you do the sending, okay? You sign your book if you offered to sign it, and you put it in an envelope, and you pay the postage, you pay for the book, and you send it to the winner. Now, I want you to know that, first of all, paperback giveaways always will get more people to enter than the Kindle giveaways. That's straight out the first plus, okay? That there, if you go on, you can go on today and look at Goodreads giveaways and see what are the most popular books being requested, which are the ones that people are signing up for. And they are undoubtedly the paperback giveaways. That's the first thing. Second of all, if you offer to sign a book, if you say you're giving away an autographed book, you will definitely get even more people to sign up for your giveaway. So if this is one of the goals of running a giveaway, to try and reach as many people as possible, for them to see your book cover, for them to read your blurb about your book, my pick is the paperback. I think you will get more eyeballs on your giveaway, on your book cover, if you choose to give a paperback away. I've only done paperback, personally speaking, because I love being able to offer a signed book, and then I love the opportunity of including a personal note in the book. First of all, I always personalize the book when I'm signing it, but I also write a little note that I include with the book. I put it in the envelope, and I thank the winner for entering the contest, entering the giveaway. I thank her or him for their interest in reading my book, and I tell them I hope they enjoy it, and I hope they will consider writing an honest review. So there is another thing, another layer that you cannot do when you give away a Kindle. You're not speaking directly to them, and you're not asking them for a review, and you don't even really know who they are. So I think that's pretty big. The other thing that I think, if cost is a factor, and if you don't want to give away a ton of books, you can just give away one copy of your paperback. You'll get the same amount of engagement, whether you say I'm giving away 20 copies or one copy. It never really discourages somebody to sign up for your giveaway if they see, oh, this person's only giving one away. It's not costing them anything to enter the giveaway. So you can just give one copy and get the same amount of engagement. So once you've chosen what format you want to send, you want to give away, the next decision you need to make is, which package are you going to buy, the standard or the premium? Standard, again, is $119. Premium is $599. And you'll see the premium package offers 2 more perks that the standard doesn't. So let's look at what those are. The first one is Your book is listed in the premium listing. So it's under the featured book column on the giveaways. And the featured books, there are only 2 pages of featured books. So there's uh, far fewer books for someone to go through, which is good. I mean, that's a plus because some people don't like to go endlessly looking for books in the giveaway. I mean, I bet you some people do, but more often than not, they'll go a couple of pages in and maybe they'll stop. So that's a nice feature. Second one is a personalized email sent to everyone who did not win the giveaway. So, what you need to know about this, it first sounds really awesome, doesn't it? Like if you had 1,000 people enter your giveaway and now you get to send a personalized email to 999 people, that's pretty amazing. Sort of. Until you find out that the email is very restricted, okay? And what I mean by that is you cannot write the subject line of the email. Goodreads does that, and it's a very standard line. And the email itself, although they do claim it's a personalized email written by the author, you get 1,000 characters, but you are not allowed to put a link in the email or a URL. You are not allowed to ask for a review. You are not allowed to suggest that they join your mail list, and you can't ask them to subscribe to your website. So it's very restricted. And trust me, when people are signing up for giveaways all the time, very few of them are reading those emails. So ask yourself, is that worth over $400 more? I mean, personally speaking, no. My answer to that question is no. But you may have a different answer. Think about it and think about it carefully, okay? Because that's a lot of money. And I don't think that what you get from the premium is worth it. So once you pick your package, now we fill out the giveaway details. The first thing you need to decide on the details is how long do you want to run the giveaway? My recommendation is to run it for about a month. I would say 3 to 4 weeks is probably a good amount of time to get some traction. You want to get, as many people to sign up for your giveaway as possible. That's a good amount of time. The other stuff in there is pretty self-explanatory, but the thing that I want to talk about is your giveaway details, your giveaway description. Okay, there is a strategy that people talk about and write about all the time about how best to set up your description for your giveaway, because I'm going to show you in this next slide that when you look at the giveaways, you'll see you get a copy of your book cover, okay, and then about 6 or 7 lines of text with another line that says more that you can click on to get more information. So what I call it is the above the fold and below the fold description, okay? So when someone's going through these giveaways, they're looking quickly, reading really fast. Does this grab their attention? What's on these 6 lines? I believe you have to think very carefully about how you set up and write your description. You can see what I typically do on the right here. I gave you an example of how I handle those first 6 or 7 lines of text. I encourage you to do something in a similar fashion, to use capital letters, to use asterisks, to maybe start with an award your book has won. Or, for instance, you can see I wrote signed copy. I know that that's going to get a ton more engagement, signed copy. I put the genre, psych thriller. then look, a coveted line I left blank. I actually left it blank because I know it will be easier for someone to get through that and to look at it, and it's easy on the eye, and they go straight to the next 2 lines of copy, which is my book hook. What if you Googled yourself and discovered something shocking? Okay, I skipped another white line and then a testimonial, a review. Memory boxes, Gone Girl on, and the last word didn't fit in there, steroids. Unfortunately, hopefully they will click more. But that's my point. You want the people to click more. So if you don't set up this first above the fold copy in a really enticing way, no one's going to hit more, and you want them to. So make sure you really think hard about how you want that to look. What do you want it to say? Do not waste 3 lines on, please enter this giveaway to win a free copy of. Okay, that's like 2 lines you just wasted. Of course, we all know that's what the giveaway is for. Here you'll see what you get when you click more. You get all this space. Use every single bit of it. Do not, I go through that giveaway sometimes and I see people use 3 lines of their, you've got a lot of real estate here. Use every single inch. And look at what I personally have done. I start with an award, okay? I then use a big chunk for testimonials. It's a great way to tell your readers about your book without you telling them, right? You're using your reviews to speak for you, which is an awesome thing to consider there. And then, of course, you will go into your book description, and hopefully they will want to read more. They'll want to enter your contest. They'll want to win your book. And if they don't win it, maybe they'll even want to buy it, which would be amazing. Okay, so in the end, when the Goodreads giveaway is over, if you signed up for the paperback version of the giveaway, you will get an email from Goodreads with the name and address of the winner or winners, depending on how many you decided to give away. So the first thing I do when I'm signing the book, I always personalize it, and I write, enjoy this read, or whatever it is you write in your books when you sign them. Then, like I said before, I include a personal note to the winner, and I tuck that into the envelope also. Then I take a selfie of me holding a piece of paper that says, "Congrats, Tammy." I do not include the last name, of course. And I have a cover of my book, and it says, "A signed copy is coming your way." Then I post this photo everywhere. I post it on, everywhere, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and I try and squeeze as much as I can out of this giveaway. I spent $119. I'm going to keep wringing out every possible marketing opportunity I have, and this gets a lot of engagement, believe it or not. People love to see this, and with all of the giveaways I've done, I did actually once get a comment by the winner. She actually saw this photo. It was so funny, but it was very cool and exciting. So I recommend you do that if you want to, if you're up to the selfie. Okay, so we just covered a lot of ground on how do you market your book on Goodreads, in essence, right? But there's other things you can do on Goodreads away from your book. And I usually say it's marketing away from your book. It's still supporting you as an author. It's supporting your brand, but it's not with your author hat on. It's with your reader hat on. So what else can you do on Goodreads? You could be a plain old Goodreads reader, which is really super important. And it still will help you and will help to market your book, because when you're an active Goodreads reader and you add books to your shelves, Don't forget, every time you do something on Goodreads, it goes on your feed and it goes out to your friends and to your followers so they see what you're up to. And then when they see your name, they're like, oh yeah, I remember her and she wrote that book and what is she doing now? And so it just reminds people what you're doing, what you're up to. So in addition to adding books to your shelves, I also think it's a great idea to create new shelves. So for instance, maybe you have a shelf that's called Books That Kept Me Up Past Midnight, or Books That Made Me Change My Mind About Something. That's another idea that you can do without too much effort. Another thing you can do is post reviews and ratings for books you've read. Obviously, as an author, my suggestion, in the spirit of supporting other authors, I would only rate or review a book that I really was crazy about. I would never post a critical review or a critical rating. I don't think that's the kind of spirit you want to have on Goodreads. And lastly, you can join a group and participate in a genuine way. And so what I mean by that is if you have time and say you write thrillers but you love to read historical fiction, maybe you seek out a group on Goodreads that they read historical fiction and they talk about the books they're reading. That's also an excellent way to build community and for people to find out what you're all about away from your book, but do it in a genuine way and absolutely no book promotion on those group discussions. All right, so we're coming to the end of what to do on Goodreads, and the last thing I'm going to leave you with is what not to do on Goodreads as an author. The first thing is don't engage with people who negatively rate or review your books. Period. End of story. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like it's really a no-brainer, but sometimes the best of us, we read a review and either we realize the reader didn't understand our book and we just think if we only explain the book then everything would be great, but honestly, don't do it. Just don't do it. Sometimes, or maybe all the time, it just doesn't end on in a positive way. So resist, resist, resist. The next is don't contact members who have shelved your book. Okay, so you're going to see people putting your book on their want to read shelf or have just read shelf or started reading or whatever shelf it's on. It's not an invitation for you to reach out to them. Readers like to do their thing. They like to talk about books with other readers. They don't really want to feel like the authors of books are watching what they're doing or somehow getting involved with their discussions with other people. And of course, Goodreads, I believe, is a powerful tool to engage with your readers, but I firmly believe that the engagement needs to start with the reader. I don't think it should start with the author. And the last thing is, don't join groups simply to promote your book. We talked about that. Just join groups that you can genuinely participate in. So that leads us to the last thing I want to say, which is there are over 65 million members worldwide on Goodreads. It is obviously a no-brainer that authors must be on Goodreads to find and engage their readers with those amazingly robust book pages and author pages and links to blogs, blog posts and websites and widgets and videos and events. I hope that you will be inspired to take a look at your Goodreads pages, take a look at your author page and your and your book page and try and maximize it and make it a really great place for your potential readers to go and find out more about you as an author and about your books. So thank you so much for joining me today, and good luck.